Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons: The Second Age.
Hello.
Ooh.
We are here once again. We are about to embark on the final legs of Season 2. Woohoo!
Holy shit.
It's going to be an event. So, before we wade straight back into things that I know people are eager to get started on,
We're going to delay that.
who would like to tell me what happened last time?
Oh god.
We found the assassin body.
Yep.
Was in fact still alive, barely.
Sort of.
He had this weird wooden thing, basically jabbed in his heart, which was sort of
Yes.
sucking up his own life power, which gave him the weird ass power in return. It was kind of weird. We went back upstairs. Leroy's MVP, like, of all times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She mauled the guy basically on his way out. He was still
The
alive
wizard
as well.
man.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
wizard man who fucked us up. At which point, I think we all brought. Well, we kept the assassin body to take him to the library, while the wizard went to, I guess, the guard
Yes.
thing.
He was taken prisoner, and you took the body to the library to research.
We learned some stuff about it. I don't actually remember almost any of it.
Well, you found out some important things in that the wraith class and the powers that he exhibited were almost identical in source, and they were almost certainly created by the same person.
Oh, yeah.
You learned that provided that the host was still there was still like some shred of the host left, the process was reversible, or at least that's what Zale was looking into. He believed that it was but he did say that he needed power far beyond what he immediately had access to.
Yep.
And yes, I think that was all of the information you learned from Zale's research, at least. You learned some like details on exactly how it worked and what it was doing, but
We also did some other research in the Arcane Library, more related to Ferrous Dune. And also Kelariis looked up a bunch of stuff on her own quest, which is to get the spear and the other thing, staff
Yeah.
yes.
of Tricerion.
Crelestro and the Baton of Retribution.
Which you found the things leading her to Rourke's Gate, which is now on sort of the way we're going, half of the way we're going.
Yeah.
However, the bad news. Wait, no. Hold on. We went back to the guard precinct first. Look, I'm getting ahead of myself. Don't laugh at me. Went back to the guard precincts. And then we were just like, oh yeah, can you like tell us about the mage wizard? The mage wizard? The old wizard.
Oh.
Where we didn't really learn anything, we managed to convince the lady that we were that she would tell us about what she learned from him. But then we sort of fucked off and never came back.
Yeah, as Helena pointed out at the end of last session, you guys teleported out of the capital without telling anybody, and you asked for a whole bunch of people to let you know stuff, and then, yeah, that's not possible.
Rip. Also,
Uh.
like initially, the Arcane Library didn't really want us using the teleportation circle, so we had to pull some strings, go back to Ilaran's sister, who we convinced to be like, "Hey, can you like vote for us and stuff?" And she totally has all of that in her hands, because remember she raised her hand. Like everyone else was just like, "Yeah, I guess you can use the teleportation circle."
Because she's like the patron of the college, yeah?
Yeah.
So-
She is simultaneously young, pretty, and the college's main source of funding.
Lol. So yeah, we used teleportation circle because we're going back to Silverbrook. At which point, from Silverbrook, we're gonna do some stuff there, head back to V's Grove, and then we're going to go to Renshire, which is apparently evil town, and then we're going to go to Rourke's Gate.
It's your
Yay.
plan, yes.
Yep.
We'll see how well we stick.
Yeah, see how well you
Might
stick.
all go wrong.
Yeah, so basically the last thing that you guys remember is you felt a wrenching sensation somewhere behind your navel. And
That's so weird.
landed.
I mean, that's a direct reference to Harry Potter.
It's yes, it's a Harry Potter reference. You found yourselves basically landing smack bang in a place you find very familiar, just outside the gates of Silverbrook.
Ah, it's that beautiful music.
Yes, thing that you remember. And immediately the first thing that you guys notice is that the town is already looking much better for its wear and tear than when you had left. It looks like a number of the damaged houses have been repaired. There's still like a couple of destroyed buildings that you can see from immediately like outside of the town, but quite a lot of work has been done.
Awesome.
And basically the second thing you notice as you sort of become accustomed to being materialized again is that basically there are 4 or 5 Wild Hunt members approaching you at speed, and a number of other Wild Hunt members basically standing around the perimeter.
Yeah, I mean, we did just teleport, like, out of nowhere.
Yeah, they
casually.
They seem more interested in whether or not you're alright than drawing weapons on you.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's comforting.
Pretty handy.
But yeah, you guys did just basically materialize in front of the main gates.
Oops.
We're subtle.
So yeah, these guards approach you, none of whom you seem to recognize.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I guess we should just stay calm, guys. Then just
We could, like, talk to them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
let them
say anything?
approach.
You might want to like sort of like introduce yourselves. We're like
Start waving
yeah, like
as they approach.
the first guard who gets to you is a young wood elf, and he sort of says, "Are you all right? Who are you?"
Hello, we come from the capital. We're here to see Mr. Ariel and Illiran Cyanodel.
Yeah, they look at you and they're sort of like, certainly.
Look, bitch, we saved this town.
Fucking hell.
Do you want to rephrase that a little bit more?
Luka's back.
Luka's back. I'm just gonna be like, we previously were in Silverbrook and we helped fight off the Chimera that was attacking.
When you mention that, he looks at you, suddenly clocks, like, sort of, that you're a motley bunch of adventurers and you basically have a dragon. And he...
Hey now.
and he's sort of like, oh, so you're the adventurers that the captain mentioned?
Yes.
Yes, so, sorry. I've only just got here myself. Please, come in. If you don't mind me asking, did you just teleport?
Yes, we did. The Arcane Academy was nice enough to let us use their teleportation services to get here quicker.
I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be secret.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
The teleportation network is commonly known about.
Okay.
But
it's not. They just don't let anybody who's anybody use it.
It's the inner workings and things like the circle codes to get to restricted areas. It's private.
It's how to work it. That's private.
Yeah, he's sort of like, whoa! I never seen magic like that. That's amazing.
Wow.
That's right, son.
Yeah, he seems genuinely in awe of the fact that 5 of you just appeared out of thin air.
I mean, it is pretty cool.
But yeah, he basically leads you inside the city gates, and he says, I assume you can find your way from here. It's my understanding that Lord Silverbrook has basically relieved the captain and...
Wait, Lord Silverbrook?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Oh, he's back.
Yes, he's relieved the captain and Mr. Cyanidel from the and Ranger Cyanidel, sorry, from the from duties for the moment.
So,
But
where
you can find them at the hall. They're still quartered there until the barracks is fully rebuilt.
Alright, thank you.
He gives you a bow. Sort of indicates you off. And goes back to his post.
Let's go.
Cool.
Good to know Lord Silverbrook's back after 100 fucking years.
Lady Anna will be happy to see her husband again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lord Silverbrook will be very confused as to why we have the jewelry box he made for her.
I mean, she's probably
Unless she
told
explained
him.
Yeah, I'm sure she's
yeah.
explained it.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, you guys make your way up, and yeah, to the best of your observations, basically, you can see that the streets are basically packed with Wild Hunt members, but it's not just rangers. Like there are like guildsmen and stuff who are sort of set up in spaces that have been cleared of burnt out buildings, and they're splitting timbers and rebuilding, and everything seems to be running with military efficiency rather than sort of just being the handful of Wild Hunt members and civilians that were around before. And you guys remember that when Illiran talked about getting the reinforcements, he did say that basically it would take 10 or so days for the bulk of reinforcements to arrive, and then when that arrived, things would speed up. And you assume that this is the bulk of the reinforcements. But yeah, you guys continue up the hill, up the ever familiar path towards Silverbrook Hall. And basically, as you reach Silverbrook Hall, two of the two guards outside the door to Silverbrook Hall bar your passage, but the moment they begin to bar your passage, you hear a familiar voice from one side call out, "No, it's fine, let them through." And it is Varus's voice.
Hey.
Ferrous!
Oh.
No, he's still here.
Yep. He runs up to you in his shimmering cloak and says, "You're back so quickly. How did it go?"
Very successfully. We know what it is we have to do.
He nods and says, "Good. I had hopes that you would find what it was that you're looking for. Did my work help?"
Yes, very much so. We managed to contain it for quite a while.
He seems glad and he says, "Oh, good. I was concerned for a while that it wouldn't hold terribly well, but the fact that you're back so quickly, I'm guessing you had some assistance."
Yes, we did.
Yeah, he makes sure that the guards sort of let you through and leads you into the hall. And as you enter into the familiar hall, the main hall is no longer sort of this triage center that it was when you left. It's back to being a lord's hall, and basically at the far end of the hall, the large throne, the smaller seat, and the other seat have been replaced on the podium at the end. And the large seat is replaced with a male elf that you guys don't recognize, but you can probably safely guess who he is because on his left side is sat Lady Yenna. And Varys strides in, salutes, and says, "My Lord Silverbrook, the heroes have returned."
Wow.
Heroes.
Wow.
I mean, you guys are basically heroes now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
shit.
know, but the title.
Blushes.
I would like to bow.
Right.
A full bow.
The elfman sort of like he stands from his throne, sort of inclines his head to you, and says, "Thank you, Varys. So, you are the heroes that Yenna has told me about."
Yeah, that would be us. Yes.
He steps down from the sort of podium and begins to sort of like walk up the hall towards you. And sort of as he approaches, you can see he's a very, very proud looking elf. He's much like Yenna. He is like elderly looking. He's not like old. But he's if you had to place a guess, you'd say he's probably older than Exarchafelkia. Like he's got his hair is sort of grey, and you can see that there's like sort of weary lines in his face, and he looks travelled. But he still holds himself with a lot of poise, and he walks towards you and says, "If all that Yenna tells me is true, then I owe you an immense debt of gratitude. You have saved my hall, my people, my wife. Nothing I can say can ever convey how much I am indebted to you."
I guess.
We were just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and I guess. Well, and whilst Vondal says that, I also bow. It's like, yeah, it was just fortunate. And on that note, we actually partially came back to return a special something.
Oh man.
He looks
He's
at
gonna
you
do it for
curiously.
Guess I produce the box. Be like, Lady Yenna was so kind as to give us this to transport a magical artifact in, and I would like to return it to her now. Thanks, bye.
Yeah, like as you start talking about this, Lady Yenna stands from her chair and actually walks like down the hall towards you, and he turns to her and looks at you guys quizzically, looks at her and says, "I must say this is a part of the story that must have eluded me." And she takes the box back and says, "I thank you so much for returning this. I trust it served your purposes."
Yes, it was very useful. Thank you, Lady Yenna.
Yeah, she smiles and nods and sort of like takes her husband's arm and sort of says, "I could only think of one thing that I had in terms of a magical container that they could take things in, so I lent it to them." And he looks at her, smiles, and says, "You never miss a step, do you?"
Aww.
Wow.
Oh no. New ship.
Is it really a ship if they're married with 2 children?
Look,
Yes!
it could,
Yeah.
yes, you could still be a ship if you're married. God.
That's like
God.
hard shit right there.
What are you doing?
There's no
Buzz? You're
fantasy.
feeding
There's
her.
no mystery.
It doesn't matter.
You're
Doesn't matter, they're
feeding her.
happy.
You know what the
They're
best
happy, that's
the
important.
best fan fictions are, Ferrous? The ones where they're domestic as fuck. You know how you achieve that level? You get married.
I mean,
I
that's
mean-
that's fair.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
Yeah.
But please stop feeding Luka.
No,
Too
feed me.
Stop it.
I require it.
She's too powerful.
Yes. Well, they Lady Yenna sort of like thanks you again for returning the box and says, "But I've returned so quickly. I assume your quest's still ongoing."
Yes. Well, before we can like actually get rid of the shard, there are some things we need to do first.
Lady Yenna nods and Lord Ishtar basically says, "Yes, I have heard that you went to the academy for assistance. I know a lot of good people there. If you don't mind me asking, what is your plan?"
Since we do not possess the means to permanently destroy this thing ourselves, we figure it's best to attempt to. Essentially, we believe there are more of these things out there, so we feel it's best to gather many together and destroy them at once.
He nods and says, "Well, I'm afraid I do not know much about artifacts or the other planes, but I offer to you what services I can to aid you here. As Yenna no doubt told you, with the repair efforts, we don't have much in the way of gold or food or manpower. But if I can help you in any way, then I do still owe you a great debt."
What time of day is it now? I assume it's like
you
afternoon
guys,
somewhere?
yeah, you guys arrived at the academy in the first place at sort of like just after. It was sort of like 2 o'clock, and then you faffed around for like an hour or so. So,
Wow.
Sounds about right.
well, you went to the other district and then came back again. So like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. So it's probably like the beginnings of evening.
Yeah.
Should we rest here before moving out? Or...
Yeah,
Probably.
if we could just get, I think if we could just get a roof over our heads for the night before we head off, that would be much appreciated.
He bows and says, "It is the least I can offer."
Yeah. Oh, and I guess that's really it.
He says, "Well, I will not keep you. I have duties that I must get back to. That we must get back to."
One quick question: Would you happen to know where we could find Ilaran?
He racks his brain for a moment. He says, "I'm not familiar with." Oh, do you mean the ranger, Xanadel?
Yes.
Yes. He is chambered just down the hall. I relieved him and the commander of their duties, considering all that it is that they have done.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much.
He nods and returns to his chair.
All right.
I guess we head out.
Find Ilaran.
Find him.
And be like,
Find the ship!
and be like, your family are great.
Yeah.
You assume that he's probably in the same room he was in last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
just depart and knock on the door.
Okay.
Because we don't want to be rude and just barge in on them. Could be doing all sorts in there, for all we know.
No!
Yes!
They could be holding hands. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? They could
Might
be
miss some-
cuddling.
Quality, oh my god, quality hand holding. Alright?
Let's knock on
Yeah.
the door.
You knock on the door. Everybody roll me a perception check.
Oh god.
don't
Don't forget to roll edge characters.
Oh shit.
Oh.
You
Oh,
said that.
too late.
I know. Fuck.
See, this is the one time I actually remembered.
You said that, and I literally had just hit the button, and I was like, fuck.
Oh. Perception
Helena!
game on point.
What?
Okay.
You're so good.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, basically, you knock on the door, and Vondal and V, you hear somebody curse in Elvish.
Oh my god.
Well then.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Could be anything.
Wow.
Let's be real.
Stumped their toe.
Was it a male or female voice?
That is important.
It sounded like Eleran.
Oh, that's not fun.
I'm kind of considering whether to just joke around to see if he knows it's us.
You hear somebody. You hear Illaran from inside. Call "Be with you in a second" in Elvish. Nobody who doesn't. Everybody who doesn't speak Elvish obviously can't understand, but that's what he says.
I'll translate.
Can I say? Okay, I'm gonna say back in Elvish. It's okay, we can wait.
With that, you hear hurried footsteps, and Illaran opens the door.
Well,
No.
He seems incredibly surprised to be disturbed. He seems incredibly surprised to see you guys. To the point where, basically, he for the first time as well, he's not in uniform. You guys haven't ever seen him not in uniform.
dun dun dun.
Gasp.
And yeah, he's basically wearing. He's got a button-down tunic and loose trousers. And basically only half of his buttons are done up. And he's just like he's so not prepared for you.
We can tell.
And he looks at all of you, takes you all in for a moment, and just says, "Vondal, Arya, I wasn't expecting to see any of you. Is something wrong?"
No, we're just continuing on our journey, and we stopped off back here.
Yeah, it was along the way.
As you guys are having a conversation, somebody says, "Hang on a second," from the back of the room and pokes their head around the corner.
Hey.
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 Hey!
Yeah, somebody comes from around the corner. She is dressed, but her hair is she's wearing a similar sort of thing. She's wearing a button-down tunic, but basically she's sort of she ruffles her hair and blows a couple of locks that are lying in front of her face out of the way, and says, "What are you guys doing here?"
God, this is rude.
It's not why are you here? It's just I don't expect to see you.
We needed to, retrace our steps to continue on our journey. And it is quite late at the moment.
I see, but we weren't expecting you back for at least another week or so.
Yeah.
We did what we had to do in the capital fairly swiftly.
Very swiftly if you're back in less than 2 weeks.
A little bit of magic.
We had some help with getting back. I kind of look at Illaran because I don't really want to mention his sister right now. But,
We don't have to mention his sister.
yeah.
V's gonna be like, your sister's very nice.
Oh,
Dear.
There we go.
Oh god.
Because I like being that person.
Yes, you do.
Illaran seems somewhat taken aback for just a moment. He sort of goes at which point somebody comes up to him, sort of leans on his shoulder and says, "It's okay. I think you guys have a lot to talk about." And she Well, they openly exchange a kiss in front of you.
Ah!
Killing Luka!
Yeah. At which point, Simone, like,
Don't leave!
somebody sort of like runs a hand across the side of his face and says, "Besides, I don't want Ishtar to catch us again."
Again?
Oh, wow, okay.
Jesus!
Again.
I don't think
Wow.
he's the sort of person to lightly threaten court-martialing me.
Oh,
Well
Oh
then,
my god.
goodness.
evidently not.
God,
Yeah,
guys,
she
calm down.
she edges past you with a look that is sort of like half sheepish and sort of like, yeah, you saw that.
Wow.
Oh my
I love her.
Simone's the best.
You get the feeling she's a little bit pleased with herself.
god.
Good.
God
Wow.
damn.
But yeah, she walks up the corridor and he says, "You'd better come in."
Here come the feels.
Yeah.
The first wave of feels.
You guys walk in. He closes the door and bothers to do the rest of his shirt buttons up.
Wow, they move fast in 2 weeks.
2 and a bit.
Not
weeks.
necessarily.
Well, not necessarily.
It's implied.
Also, they have time. They had
Nice.
time off, so I'm sure they had plenty of time.
To find a nice
Oh, and
secluded
they've known
place
each other.
Yeah.
They've known each other for a long, long time.
where they know no
Well-
patrols pass through.
They've had a week and a half of being off duty to sort of like take everything in for starters, and read what you will into that situation, but
I mean,
just
Right,
because
it's
just because
clear.
they're sneaking about doesn't mean.
Rob,
It's king.
what?
Wow.
I was finishing first sentence.
Look, I know my tropes. Simone had sex hair, so let's be honest.
It's
here.
not. It was not sex hair.
It was just bad.
I'm telling you that for free.
Bedhead.
It was not sex hair.
She was
Damn.
completely dressed, Luka. God
Yeah.
damn it.
That doesn't mean.
But for how long?
It does mean.
Look, they had at least 20 seconds before they opened the door.
That is enough time to throw on trousers and a shirt.
Yup.
Oh, that's good.
Look.
Can't believe.
Anyway, we have a conversation. that
Anyway,
needs to be had
yeah.
about
If you're
A very
completely
feelsome
finished,
conversation. Yeah.
I'm never finished.
Shut up, Luka.
Oh.
Continue later.
maybe I'll tell you later what happened.
Ha ha.
Maybe. If you're good.
If you're good.
I'm always good.
Anyway, conversation. Yeah, you guys all sort of like find somewhere to stand, sit, whatever.
I'm not gonna sit on the bed. Can I just say that for free?
Oh my god. Luka.
Roll me a perception check.
Oh.
For God's sake, stop feeding her!
The bed is immaculately made.
Oh, that's
Aw.
disappointing. Actually,
They've been
okay.
lying
That's
on top of
disappointing.
it.
Oh my
That's not
god.
as disappointing as it could be, though.
It just means they've been lying on top of it cuddling. That's all it means.
I
There
mean,
are more beds in the room.
Oh my god.
No.
not everything involves a
Okay,
bed.
good.
Wow.
Luka.
Fucking
You sit
hell.
on the bed.
Oh
Get
Luka,
on
can
the
you stop
bed.
being trash for like half a second so we can play?
man! No! Okay, I'll stop now.
Stop it!
You sit on the bed. Who's going to start this incredibly awkward conversation? Because it's not going to be Ilaran.
Right. Okay,
Uh,
Vondal was just gonna say, yeah, we did end up acquiring assistance while in the capital from, well, your family.
Ilaran looks at Kelariis.
We ended up turning in the insignia for a warrant that we needed very quickly. I'm afraid that we weren't able to bring it back with us, though.
He nods and said, "Yes, I had accepted that might be an eventuality. I wasn't expecting it to get all the way to my family, though."
We had no idea where it was going to end up in the first place, so it was a surprise to us as much as it is to you.
Yeah, I kind of look at him and go, "Yes, you didn't tell us that your father was an exarch. That was
It's
a bit of a surprise."
not exactly the thing I like to advertise.
I just like kind of nod.
But he did seem pleased to know you were still around. He even cracked a very, very small smile.
Classic Grim.
Iloran sort of like... Iloran looks at you and says, "Well, that's a first."
Oh,
Oh man!
Wow.
Ah!
This is it. This episode is gonna kill Luka. This session is gonna kill Luka. That's it.
Look.
Game over, man. Game over.
Over.
Came over.
Oh, my poor child.
I would say, and in order to get back so quickly, we did seek your sister's help in granting us permission to use teleportation services in the Arcane Academy.
And well, he says that, or I just bump Eleanor with my shoulder or elbow,
Oh
and
God.
she's quite the looker, eh?
Oh my god.
Grim to kick him.
In character, Grim, this is not the time.
Can I kick Grim?
Oh, lighten the mood a bit.
That's not lightening
I mean,
any mood.
If you're all sitting on the bed, it would be kind of hard for you to actually kick Grim, but you can sort of like punch him in the back.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'm not sat on the bed. I'm just stood next to it. I'm too short if I sit on the bed.
God damn it.
Kelariis punches Grim on the shoulder.
Wait, I glare at him because I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
I just
Yeah.
rub my shoulder.
Oh, you're fine. You do that.
Yeah, Iloran fixes you with what seems like it's he sort of like he starts with a perplexed look, and then it's sort of like a withering stare.
Withering stare.
Yeah.
To try and distract him, and I was going to say, she wanted us to say that she misses you.
He looks at you, and there's like he loses focus for a second as he's sort of thinking, and he says, "I wish I could go back sometimes."
Oh.
She says she was gonna write a letter.
He turns to UV and says, "You told them where I am?"
They
I
to
didn't.
be.
It wasn't me.
Look,
They did sort of ask where we had met you and where we come from. I think something along
Yeah.
those lines.
Yeah, Stormguard are quite intimidating.
Mm.
He looks around and sort of sighs and says, "I suppose that's my fault for being so vague."
Well, I'm pretty sure we only told your sister about it. Your dad, it didn't really get mentioned.
No, you told him you got it from Silverbrook.
Yeah, because he asked us straight up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, both of them were kind of like, where the fuck did you see him? In their own ways.
Yeah, basically.
Grim didn't remember.
Yeah, he sighs and says, "I suppose that was my fault for being so vague." I suppose to some of you I don't have to explain my reason, but I hope you understand.
Arya just kind of nods and goes, "Yeah."
He sort of sighs, stands up, sort of like ruffles his hair a bit, and says, I'm glad you're back. Even if it does mean that my father can now find me, I guess your quest is more important.
I kind of feel bad,
I know.
but I feel like we can't lie to an excerpt. So
Oh no, definitely not.
Yeah.
That would definitely end badly.
I mean, you could tell half truths, but we didn't.
even then,
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
And besides, we knew Illirin wasn't very connected to his family, but we didn't know how disconnected it actually was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Arya kind of knew because of the last name thing, but
The rest of us had no idea, though.
yeah.
Ilran walks up to the window and sort of like looks out of the window for a little bit, and sort of
Brooding.
yeah.
Brooding.
If you guys have any questions, now is the time to ask him.
Arya's gonna change the subject, and she's gonna ask him how the repairs are going. Seems like you've made a lot of progress since we were last here on the town.
On the town.
I had to specify it.
Yeah.
And with Simone. Cough, cough.
He
Wow.
he turns to you, smiles, and says, "Yes. A couple of days after you left, the reinforcements arrived under Lord Silverbrook. Lord Silverbrook, he is an efficient man. He had the place running far more efficiently than Simone or I did within the hour.
It's impressive.
Well, he is 600 years of
Yeah.
military experience, of like governing and military experience.
It's a little bit more than however old Illiran is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, pretty much all of Simone's experience is in infiltration, not in organization.
Yes. Like they said when they first met you, neither of them is qualified to be a leader.
Boom.
Look, Ilran did fine.
Yes.
Okay, Ilran did nothing wrong.
He
I
yeah,
mean, true.
he seems happy, but he also seems like sort of almost like you get the feeling that he's been sort of distanced from the effort ever since Lord Silverbrook arrived.
Well, at least you've gotten some more time with Simone.
Wow.
Jesus.
Straight to the
Like,
point, aren't you,
And
Grim?
and winks at him.
Oh God!
Oh my
Why
He-
are you?
God.
well, he isn't looking at you for starters.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's staring out the
okay.
window, brooding.
Yeah.
Just a wink at his back.
Like, I'll just wait.
Grim winks at the rest of you, and the rest of you roll your eyes.
Can I punch him this time?
Wow.
In the same place.
Insane.
In the other arm.
Yeah, same place on the other arm.
Wow. Come on, guys.
True. Illiran misses any subtlety in the context and sort of says, yeah, she's been very supportive.
We've not missed anything too exciting in our absence, have we?
No, Luka. Fuck you.
Not that kind of excitement, Luka.
He says, other than the Lord Silverbrook's arrival and well, frankly, rather emotional reunion in the hall. No, not really.
Reunion? Question mark.
With Yenna
Lady
and
Yenna.
Silverbrook?
I want to hear about this reunion.
Damn.
Just do it.
Just do it!
Do you ask that in character then, presumably?
Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron turns and smiles and says it was almost quite embarrassing, really.
Oh my god.
I mean, they have been away from each other for 100 years, so.
That is true.
I was here in the hall with Simone when we heard the war horn being sounded, and Simone and I rushed outside and saw the throng approaching, and I suppose we were just relieved at the time. We didn't consider who was leading it or anything along those lines. And then when it made it to the hall and Lord Silverbrook was at the head of it, somebody sort of went inside and spoke to Lady Yenna, and then I spoke to Lord Silverbrook and explained to him the situation that had happened. And the first thing he did was dismiss Simone and myself from active duty. And at first I thought it was strange, and then he completely blanked me, walked into the hall, and I followed him because I didn't really know what else to do. And Lady Yenna was just sort of standing in the middle of the hall, and Lord Silverbrook just sort of approached her, put his arms on her shoulders, said nothing, and just embraced her, and she started to cry just uncontrollably.
Oh
man.
This is
Babies.
no. Cries.
I guess that's what 100 years apart does.
I mean, they've been married for like a long ass time.
Well, the 100 years is not really the huge deal. 100 years in Elven time is not actually that long. It's more the fact that, well, those of you who are the more insightful people, I'm not going to make you roll for it, but you can decide amongst yourselves. It's more the fact that Lady Yenna was a stoic through the entire events that had happened. She never once broke face.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a lot of tension building up.
Yeah.
Followed by an intense emotional impact.
Mm.
She cried.
Oh, babes.
And I suppose, yeah, I never really considered the fact that they'd been apart for so long and everything that Lady Yenna had been through. I just didn't even think about it.
Well, I'm glad to see. Oh.
I suppose it's not every year that such a commotion as what we've experienced happens.
He looks out the window again and says, "No, that much is certain."
I guess we should just.
Thinking of plans. Do you have any now that all this is over?
He looks at you curiously, as I don't really follow.
Well, what happens now? Has the thought never crossed your mind?
Not really. The moment all this is dealt with and my leave is done, go back to being a ranger.
Yeah, that should be nice. Oh well. We should probably head off to bed. And then we'll catch you in the morning.
It's still a little bit early for bed. You guys also haven't eaten yet.
Yeah, we are still starving because we've only eaten breakfast.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
There is a strange cry like that of some unholy beast, and you all turn
What?
around and it's V.
Aww.
I was like, what?
Look, I'm hungry. It said so in the patch notes.
It did say in the patch notes.
Uh,
Out of character.
V's
who's in favour
stomach
of
rumbles.
Out of character. Should we just ask them to dinner? Would that be funny?
Yay! Let's do it. Do it.
Okay then, Vondal's gonna go. You haven't perchance eaten yet, have you?
He looks at you and says, "No, it's a little early."
And then he's just gonna like bump his head towards V and just goes, because I think someone's getting a bit too hungry. We haven't eaten since this morning.
He
didn't actually
he looks at you blankly.
He's just gonna sigh and go, "Do you want to come and get food with us?"
Sure.
Just kind of loosen the mind from, well, the maybe potentially less than pleasant news we've brought.
Yeah, he sort of he sighs, shrugs, and says, "Well, what's done is done, and I have no hard feelings towards any of you."
That's good.
I knew the risks when I gave you that token.
Sorry that it ended up where it did. It was where we were kind of directed.
He like sort of places a hand on your arm and sort of says, I gave it to you because I wanted to help.
Aw.
Please don't be sorry."
If it makes you feel any better, it was immensely helpful.
It almost got you killed.
He doesn't need
We don't
to
mention
know
that.
look,
Yeah, A, he doesn't need to know that. B, it wasn't that nearly got us killed.
Yeah.
It was our own actions that nearly got us killed. Nothing to do with him.
Yeah, he basically smiles, says, "Shall we?" and then sort of like leads you out of the door.
Let's go.
We can also invite Simone if you'd like.
I thought that was implied.
It
I
was,
mean-
but Ilaran missed it completely.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
There
true.
you
That's
go.
true.
He's sort of like,
Just like he misses everything.
Yeah. He's a
yeah.
bit tense, bless him.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure she'd be happy to talk to you guys again.
It's been the happiest I've been to see a pair of elves ever.
Damn!
That's
Racist.
a
Because I'm
racist.
a dwarf!
He looks at you, Vondal, pats you on the head, and says, "And this is the happiest I've ever been to see a dwarf too."
Aww. Why are we
It
all
turned out
so
all
racist?
Vondal said it. He's just mirroring it.
mutual
No.
racism. It's adorable.
God.
He begins to he turns to walk up the corridor and says, "We should go." He says, "Well, how would he phrase it?" He says, "Let's go and get Simone." Pauses and then says, "Actually, maybe I'd better do that."
Oh.
Why?
Fair enough.
She might not want to be interrupted.
Rob.
I'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Oh my god.
Hey?
Just let him go. If you love something, let it go.
does Luka stealth after? Or the Arya stuff.
I
Something,
forgot
let it
it.
go.
No, I'm not gonna stealth after that.
Look, Ariel's already like fucking creeped on them once. Let's not do that again.
Yeah.
Also, I feel it.
Yeah, A, let's not do it again. B, we've already kind of burst in on them doing something.
That's
Maybe we
true.
shouldn't do that again.
Yes, please give the poor man some privacy.
It's already been
Luka.
interrupted once.
No! There's no privacy.
So where are you guys
Shut up,
going?
Lucas.
I guess we go back to the hall. Is there like a mess hall? Question
Well,
mark?
well, hang on.
That's where we ate
'Cause-
before, isn't it?
Well, has the tavern been repaired?
No,
Oh,
it
that's
has
a good
not.
question.
Uh,
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll just wait just outside the hall because we didn't really agree on a place to eat.
Yeah.
So we might as well just wait.
Well,
just
you guys
outside.
can eat in the hall if you want. Like,
Oh, there you go.
presumably when Lord Silverbrook offered you accommodations there, it means you can eat with them as well.
That works then. She'll just wait in the
Yeah,
hallway.
unlike previously, the hall is now back to being used for official business, but there is a kitchen and dining hall off to one side, in the same corridor that you guys are in for your rooms. You've actually been in it before. It was one of the rooms that was being used as sort of like a communal bunk room for people earlier. When
Might as well wait
when
outside.
it was full of wounded. Well, the door is open and you can just sort of go in, and there are people there like preparing a meal.
Hmm.
Shall we sit down then?
Sure.
Yeah. Might as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down
I'm sure they can find us.
and wait for the lovebirds.
Yeah. Basically, after a few minutes, Ilaran and Simone come back. Ilaran has bothered to change his tunic, and Simone is sort of like tidied herself up a little bit. And basically, as they turn the corner into the dining hall, probably the only person fast enough to catch this is V. But they stop holding hands the moment they walk through the doorway. And yeah, Simone smiles when she sees you and sits down, and they join you.
They're so pure. Well, maybe not so pure anymore.
Wow.
You don't know what they're doing there.
Wow.
Guys, can we go like 5 minutes?
No! Helena, look.
Not with Luka around.
I live in the trash. It's my home.
Look, can you just get out of the bin for 5
She's
minutes?
just there, just swimming around in a sea of garbage.
Look, can you just... Look, Luka, can you just get out of the bin for 5 minutes, and you can go back in the bin once we've left Silverbrook?
But it's so nice.
Luka is like the
I wanna
shipping
play D&D, Luka!
Danny DeVito.
Look, you can get back in the bin
I'm
once
the
we leave
trash
Silverbrook.
man.
Just for
I
now,
eat garbage.
get out of the bin. Let's just play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, they join you at the table.
Ooh, food.
Woo!
Yeah, you guys eat some food, and you can talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about, and they will answer your questions. As you guys are sat at the tables, by the way, you notice that there are a couple of other tables and several other people you recognize vaguely as hall personnel, like people that you saw around the hall previously, sort of come in and eat. But Ishtar and Yenna, the Silverbrooks, are nowhere to be seen.
Eating in private.
You assume they eat in their quarters.
Probably.
Well, I guess we discuss what happened in the capital, tell about our trip there, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, the
Yeah,
trip there was fun.
Rave shard business.
Yeah, we should probably tell them what happened with the race shard.
Update them on that.
Yeah, you tell Simone like sort of like you tell both of them a brief story. Simone sort of like nods and smiles and sort of like she seems to like enjoy the adventure anecdotes, as does as does Illiran. But when you guys start relaying things that happened in the capital, Illiran sort of like suddenly becomes incredibly interested in what's left of the things on his plate.
Oh.
Well, I assume since he wasn't comfortable about his whole family
Yeah,
thing that
well,
we kind of talk
yeah.
around that. Like,
Yeah, we sort of
Yeah.
leave it out a little bit.
Yeah, so Simone
that's
smiles
not-
as you do this and sort of like coaches slightly closer to.
We
Wow,
also
I went
don't
Welsh for a
mention-
second there. I'm sorry.
Oh wow.
Cuddles
Let's also
up.
not mention. Let's also not mention how we almost died. Let's not
Yeah.
mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just gonna.
For all intents and purposes, we defeated the cult with no issues.
like just make it a happy story.
No,
Happy
no,
story.
no issues.
No
Yeah,
issues, TM.
A happy story about murdering cultists.
I mean, that's a
And
happy story.
And then we went on a killing spree under the city.
Wow. Okay.
Under the
I guess you
city.
could frame it that way.
Oh no, the city.
Look, there were 2 survivors of that killing spree. Thank you very much.
There was, I
And
guess.
they're both locked up.
There are 2
Hopefully.
survivors, and they will tell everyone what happened here.
Survivors.
This definitely won't come back and bite us in the ass.
Not at
Oh.
all.
Damn.
Ever.
No.
Nothing bites us in the ass.
Nope.
Fine.
No.
Not totally not gonna come back and bite us. It's totally fine. They'll remain locked up where they belong all the
I
time.
mean, the only person who's ever been
And it'll
bitten in
be
the
fine.
ass was that mage.
Hey.
That is so true. And he brought that on himself, so.
Rightfully.
By being
Yeah,
an evil mage.
you tell the story about Lyra defeating the mage who almost escaped. And Lyra sort of like sits by the side of the table, just like, yep.
I love her.
Just head
and-
up like, yep.
Like, yep, that was me.
I did the thing.
Simone sort of like looks at her approvingly and gives her things off the plate, and Lyra's just sort of like, she tries to resist, but then she's just sort of like, okay, fine.
I will
Aw.
take your offering of food.
Oh,
Just to remain dignified about it.
It's like, oh no, it was no big deal. All right, fine, I'll have it. Oh.
It's not the snatches it out of your hand, it's the sort of takes it gently with the teeth and then eats it.
I'll just take this then, if you
What
if
a
you insist.
well-mannered-
Oh!
I know, isn't Lyra just like the best? Little
So
well-mannered.
well-mannered.
Oh yeah,
No.
the most well-mannered, messy eater in existence. Because
Look,
she
she
is, of
took it-
course, a dog.
She took it out of somebody's hands, all nice.
Yeah, exactly.
She's
It's
also
annoying.
significantly more intelligent than your average wolf.
She is. Hush.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
statistics-wise, she is exactly as intelligent, but she's just she has a lot more comprehension.
Refined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
A
refined.
refined. A refined beast.
I mean, we are like mentally connected, so.
And you're also the same person.
Yep.
As Lily phrased it, she is regal.
She is very regal.
Ah, Lily.
I'm sure we'll find her again, don't worry. She
One day.
seemed important.
Perhaps. So yeah, you guys exchange stories over dinner. Simone sort of like gives you the same sort of story that Illiran told about how the reunion between Lady Silverbrook and Lord Silverbrook was emotional. She glosses over like the sort of the level of detail that Illiran gave you, but then she goes on to say basically like, yeah, we've basically been off duty for like a week because Lord Silverbrook's thanked us for everything we'd done and basically said, take a break.
Have a break.
Have a break.
Which Simone was sort of like,
Like
yeah,
that.
I was kind of offended to start with because I'd like put in all this hard work and then I went to sleep for 8 hours for the first time in a week and then I was like, oh yeah, I kind of needed that break.
Yup.
Speaking of
Running-
people who had some rough night's sleep. Cough, Arya.
What? Oh. I was like, where are you going with that? Yeah.
I assume you don't mention that.
Probably not now.
No, let's just talk about how Grim and Arya had like this huge fight.
I know, right?
That's
And how-
massive.
And Arya's immense ability to hold a grudge.
Look, he's being a fucking idiot. So I'm
If
gonna...
if she was even more of a grudge bearer, she'd be a dwarf.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Any more of a grudge bearer.
No.
I'd be offended.
Perfectly
but
reasonable.
Just pretty reasonable. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you guys could. Somebody continues to tell the story of like, yeah, they haven't really done anything. It's been sort of like laid back, but they've been sort of like watching all the progress of people working, and it's been interesting to sort of like see the. It's been a long time since Simone has sort of seen the large-scale hunt at work, and she says it's sort of like it's always impressive to watch them work. The scale and military efficiency of the whole operation is somewhat of a marvel. Yeah. Anyone have any questions for Simone? Want to talk to Simone about anything?
I mean, I do as a person.
You do as a
Arya does
person.
not. Arya, sadly, does not. Cries.
Are you just asking what they've?
Not even going to ask about her court-martial comment.
Oh, I guess I could comment on that. That seems pretty.
Seems like a sensitive area.
Yeah, I guess I'll just like bring that up.
How do you phrase it?
This is what
Luka,
I'm, like-
at least put a little bit of effort into role playing. Good fucking god.
Jeez.
I'm trying to think of how Arya would phrase it.
Whatever you do, don't pull a Grim.
See, that's what I'm
Accurate.
trying my best to avoid.
You'd be the first person in a while to pull Grim.
What?
For fuck's sake!
Wrecked.
Just ignore them, Luka.
Confused.
Ignore them.
To pull, to seduce.
Oh. Yeah, Arya would be the last person to do that right now.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to phrase this in character.
Then you can't ask the question.
Oh, I like
Got
to
it.
ask the question. I mean, what are we talking about? Like, are we just like talking about?
Well, she's telling you like she says like, oh yeah, and that's basically everything that happened to us.
Aha! And Arya just kind of gives her a look and is like, I mean, I feel like being court-martialed is something that also happened, apparently. Or the threat of being court-martialed. Just give her a look. Like, are you gonna tell me this story?
Illiran catches his breath on whatever it is that he's eating.
Oh god.
Simone sort of like looks a little bit awkward for a second and says, let's just say that Lord Silverbrook disapproved of some of our behaviour and said it wasn't exactly fitting of a captain-student, captain-ranger relationship. So yeah, let's just say we've been a little more careful.
Wonderful. Just like give her a nod. Bro nod.
Quota.
Quote.
Wow.
Quota bet.
Quote him at.
There it is.
Man, just hitting those quotas.
As an attempt
Yeah.
to lighten the mood, Vondal's just gonna say, well, you know what you have to do, Illiran, get up those ranks.
Oh
Oh
my god!
So then you're not sleeping with your boss. Oh!
Illiran, Illiran decides that it's your turn, Vondal, to receive a withering stare. Simone sort of like she snuggles up to him and basically says,
Aw.
well, We just have to be a little more careful not to get rudely interrupted.
Oh, God.
At which point Illiran turns a little bit red.
Oh.
I love embarrassing Illiran. He's so
So
easy
does
to
Simone.
embarrass.
You know what else can you two
You
get
don't
with
say.
at Illiran? The thing is Clarus wouldn't do this, but do you remember that his sister calls him Illy?
Oh, yeah!
Oh my god. And
Damn.
also the reaction
I've just had a
to hearing
thought.
that he was still Illiran Cyanidel.
What is your thought?
You had a thought?
The thread of conversation probably embarrasses those of you at the table who are slightly more prudish than others. What colour does Kelariis turn? Because she's already red.
Oh.
Oh.
I mean, I've
really
seen
awkward, isn't it?
I feel like, I mean, it's hard for fucking scales to blush.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know.
I don't think scales.
Well,
will-
you haven't got scales like on your face.
Does she not?
I mean,
Well, in places, yeah, but there are like fleshy bits as well.
Well, I would assume them that it's sort of, well, she's more like orangey, I think, because she's bronze, right? So it kind of
Yeah.
turns more like a reddish, almost sort of like closer to purplish.
I would imagine it's like it just does a
Shit.
deeper red. So it's
Just like
already like a kind of bronzy color, so it just goes like a dark red.
Or perhaps even like a brown, like a chestnut brown.
chestnut brown. Wow, that was a really specific color.
I mean, why would it turn brown? Blood isn't brown.
Look, it's like one of those dark browns.
Oh my
Just
god.
orange.
Actually, I have no idea what colour Kelariis' blood.
What color is the blood of a dragonborn? What color is dragonborn?
Is it different?
Yeah.
First of all, is it different?
Yeah,
And if it
yeah.
is, what is the
That's true.
color of dragon blood?
Dragons are cold-blooded to start with.
Yeah, I was gonna
so,
say.
Sure.
so their blood would be a darker red. So
No.
in theory, when
Hmm.
Kelariis blushes,
Anyway, this is a biology
It would be a
discussion
darker red.
that I need to put in my world-building document, not have right now.
Aw.
Yeah,
I love that. We're just putting minor details in his work.
yeah, but
How
basic.
do dragonborn blush?
Kelariis and Vondal, you blush a little bit. Grim, you're probably like that doesn't embarrass you. Arya, you asked the question, so you're sort of like it's like a little bit embarrassing, but you're sort of like you appreciate the humor behind it. V is just sort of like not fussed.
Yep.
V just kind of the subtlety of the whole thing just goes completely over V.
Much like everything does with Illiran.
Ah.
Shots fired.
Why does it have to go over his head?
Because he's a bit dense and a sweet small bab.
So it doesn't go over his head, it just ricochets off his head.
Yeah. Just bounces off.
No, nothing goes over Illiran's head. His reflexes are too fast. He would catch it.
Oh my god. Good.
Is that why he didn't get it? He just catches it and goes, what am I supposed to do with this now?
I mean, that's kind of the logical reaction that actually happened.
God.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, unless you guys have anything else to talk about, the conversation sort of like peters out.
Make small talk.
How's the weather?
The classic small talk.
Applicable in all ages.
Yep.
It's not bad
Talk
actually.
about elevators.
It's not bad.
Oh,
Oh my
god.
god.
Grim
please don't
tries
do
to do
that
his spiel about elevators again.
one. Oh god.
Illiran's sort of like, yeah, I know, I lived around them. I know
Yeah,
what an
he fucking
elevator
lived.
is.
What's Simone like though? What does Simone think of elevators?
Somebody just sort of, like, she seems to listen to you and just sort of nods, but she's really not paying attention.
So it's like that nod where you're pretending to listen, you just don't
Yeah.
want them to stop talking for fear they'll start accusing you of being rude.
Yeah, she's sort of like nodding and smiling, and Illiran seems to be just constantly distracted by something, and you just realise that you can't see Simone's hands.
Oh.
Wow! What the fuck? Now?
Oh my god.
Look, she likes embarrassing him, alright?
Yeah.
That
I'm just gonna whisper over to them, just be like, he did that on the way up.
I really don't think they care.
Imagine trying to tell him to shut up in front of Stormguard.
Oh. Look, I love Simone, and this is wonderful.
I can't believe.
Like, basically, as Grim sort of, like, reaches the end of his spiel, there's a moment where, like, Iloran moves his hand to his side, grabs Simone's hand, and then just, like, bangs it down on the table, like, holding her hand. Just sort of, like, stop that.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good stuff.
For God's sake.
I love Simone so much. Oh dear.
Seriously, Simone is the best character.
She is. She
Simone is
the
best NPC.
I mean, Iloran's sister was also pretty good.
She's also pretty
Nope,
good.
Simone's better.
But
Just in every way.
Simone's also awesome. So. And she likes embarrassing poor little Iloran. So.
Of course, Luka's gonna get behind that.
Look, it's great.
It is. But yeah, unless you guys have anything else to talk about, sort of like the conversation ends. And yeah, that story took a long time to tell. So yeah, it's basically been like an hour. But yeah, basically by this point, by the time you finish eating and you finish having your conversation, it's starting to get dark. It's basically got to the point where, like, you finished eating, the stewards have, like, taken all of your, like, plates and things, like, washed everything up, put it away, and are now just sort of, like, they've just sort of, like, left, and they just sort of, like, put the torches out when you go.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, I'm not sure if there's anything else we need to do before, you go to bed and stuff,
Yeah.
so.
yeah. I mean, is it like time for bed, or is it just dark out?
I mean, yeah, it's just dark out. Like, you guys
Oh.
could go to bed. It's, like, yesterday was a day that was pretty full of stuff, but you're, like, not, like, hugely physically tired. Like, all you did was, like, walk around town and read some books.
Well, we
And you-
travelled quite far.
In an instant, with absolutely no exhaustion, because magic.
Yeah, we teleported. It wasn't like we were like riding on a horse for a day
Yeah.
or something.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. You guys also slept in, like, really late.
I mean, we kind of deserved it.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, you guys probably aren't that tired.
Yeah. Well, I guess we could just have a stroll around Silverbrook, see how things are progressing.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just have like an hour of relaxation before bed.
Yeah, you guys decide to go out for a walk.
Hey guys, remember this is where I fainted.
God damn.
Oh god, recording
Right.
You
again.
didn't tell anyone.
I'm joking. Yeah, that's
Quick,
true.
guys, for old time's sake, let's go back to the grove.
As you walk out of the the hall and like begin to go down the hill, you do notice that there is still like a massive patch of cracked flagstones like in the middle of the path.
Not my fault, I promise.
Yes, it was.
Oh my god.
I mean, it is kind of your fault. A little bit.
Just a tiny bit.
Iloran and Simone accompany you guys basically like out of the front door, but they just sort of like stand in front of the front door and they're just like, yeah, you guys go.
Okay,
Well-
bye.
We
Nice.
their privacy,
Yeah.
Luka. Give them their privacy.
Well,
I'm
they're
going-
standing outside in public.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Give them their privacy in public.
Jeez.
Public privacy.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
they're
not gonna do
pleased to see
anything.
you, but they don't want to spend all of their time with you.
Why? We love. We love you.
Because they
Luka.
love each other more.
You're right. We did interrupt something earlier.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you guys walk around. Nothing of interest really happens, other than you guys notice that yeah, the town is being rebuilt. It looks pretty good. Like even now, there are still people working.
Shit.
Yeah, it seems to be being worked on with a great deal of efficiency.
Cool.
But yeah,
Gurma's probably enjoying the efficiency.
yeah.
Look, I'm criticizing anything that is well, I'm able to criticize and enjoying everything that's perfect.
Roll me an intelligence check, and you can have your proficiency.
Okay. Intelligence. So that's +3, so it's 20.
Yeah, you notice some things every now and again. Not this shit again. Yeah, you point out a few more.
Oh wait, no, it's not.
You point out a few what's it called? Like there's like a few redundancies, just like, so you don't need 3 people doing that job. No one seems to care other than you, but
Look, I still feel good about myself for knowing.
yeah, with that you conclude your wander around, and yeah, you go to sleep. Yeah, and with that, we will take a short break after I learn Vondal something.
What?
What?
Also, I'm gonna rejig some spells.
Yeah. Oh yes.
It's been a while since you guys have prayed, by the way.
Yeah, that's
It's a
true.
free action.
Yeah. Praying is free action.
No, but I remember last
Oh.
time you were in Silverbrook, you went to like the little chapel and had like a sit down and
Yes.
come to
Pow
Jesus.
wow. Talk to Jesus.
Combat Jesus.
I mean, the way you drew him, he really does look like Jesus. Or
Yeah.
like
Look,
the
I googled Tartharion, and all I saw was like a guy with like ginger long curls. So I was just like, there he is.
I mean, that's basically Tartharion, yeah. Just has long ginger hair.
I mean, Jesus definitely did not have ginger hair, but that's fine.
Yeah, I know.
He also wasn't white.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
born in the Middle East, for fuck's sake.
Anyway,
Oh,
Definitely
I
not
noticed something appeared on the tree.
yes.
Yeah, I was gonna call it Luka for that, and then I realized it was
Yay!
Cav's
I
color.
mean,
It's
I feel like
Cavs, yeah.
some of us noticed as it was being drawn.
Yes.
I-
That's why I said not this shit again.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I originally said Luka, but then I was like, oh wait, that's not Luka's
Yeah, and I
color.
tried to like whisper,
Yeah.
like, look at the tree.
I didn't realize what was happening. I
The
wasn't
fucking
looking at
tree
the
is
screen.
happening.
I wasn't
Right.
looking at the screen.
Yeah, so basically, like, all of you guys have a sleep, you can jig your spells around as you want. And with that, we will take a short break because Vondal has seen something, and then he can potentially act on that when we come back.
Oh,
Yes.
I wanna know.
God. This means I get to spend ages just sitting here thinking, what would he do?